Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Renton Reflects. Ever since the days of World War II, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party had been an easy target for comedic satire, and they continue to be so even to this very day. When I first approached this movie, I asked myself, what new things could this movie bring in its satire on Hitler and the Nazis that other forms of media haven't before, especially at this day and age? Well, after checking it out, I found my answer. The story takes place during the time of World War II, and it features a young German boy named Johannes Betzler, who's nicknamed Jojo. He starts off in the movie participating at a training camp so that he could potentially become part of what's known as the Hitler Youth. One day, he finds that his mother had been keeping a young Jewish girl hiding in the attic without him knowing about it. This is where he faces a personal conundrum. Should he turn her in to the Nazi Party, or keep her isolation a secret from everyone and risk possible execution? One of the reasons this movie was made is that, given how certain people in certain parts of the world exhibit certain behaviors, prejudices, and ways of thinking in a similar fashion to Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, director and writer Taika Waititi felt that this movie ought to serve as a reminder of that to modern audiences. And what better way to connect to modern audiences by incorporating bits of modern-day lexicon into the dialogue so that it could be played up for laughs? Not to mention having a few contemporary songs on the soundtrack be sung in German. This movie has a rather unique sense of humor in mocking Hitler and the Nazis, poking fun of their ignorance and ways of thinking. One other interesting thing of note is that Taika Waititi also co-stars in the movie as an imaginary version of Hitler, who makes occasional appearances to give Jojo someone to talk to sometimes. Reportedly, Waititi did no research on Hitler's personality traits and characteristics. This allowed him much more free rein to do whatever he pleased to mock Hitler, making his performance all the more funny, if not perfectly accurate. The movie also has some good development to come out of Jojo as a character, as he questions his beliefs and the ideologies that were taught to him by the Nazis. This movie might not have really pushed the envelope in terms of outrageous humor in the likes of, say, Mel Brooks' film The Producers with its fictional play Springtime for Hitler. Nor does it have as much of that brilliant poignancy in its satire as seen in Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator. But by building up the humor in its narrative and throwing in occasional moments of drama to shock the audience, it still manages to provide that feel-good type of entertainment. Taika Waititi certainly took this movie in a direction beyond my expectations, and that's enough for me to agree that it's certainly an original and inventive film. So I'd say give it a watch, if you haven't done so already. Who knows? It might be somewhat of a useful teaching tool in learning about Nazi Germany in a humorous and entertaining kind of way. If I were to rate this film on a scale between 1 and 10, I'd give it an 8. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.